Diablo 4 was supposed to be the biggest game of this century. And look at it now, what's happening to it. You can't even find content creators who want to make stuff about it.
There's been a lot of people recently, a lot of individuals, a lot of Diablo enjoyers who seem to find themselves all alone. Rax, one of the main content creators for Diablo 4, just released a video, My Future as a Content Creator. Uh-oh.
Hi everyone, it's Rax. Been a while since I made a YouTube video, and I wanted to talk to you about the future of me as a content creator.
Wow.
A lot of people on this channel may understand that for the last 4.5 years, I've been a content creator for Blizzard and for the Diablo franchise.
Uh-oh.
In particular, Diablo 3, and
Okay.
for a very short period of time.
How do you keep sane by being a Diablo 3 content creator, honestly? How does one keep themselves sane?
Diablo Immortal, that was...
Remember whenever he thought that he could grind hard enough in Diablo Immortal that he could beat a whale? Do you remember that? What a sad reality.
I swear there are still people who are gonna try and tell me that Diablo Immortal is not pay to win. Oh, by the way, did you hear Diablo Immortal has a new class, a Blood Knight? Yeah, I'm sure no one cares.
That was cute. It really was.
Catastrophe. We cut that out instantly.
Okay.
And then, and now Diablo 4.
Nice.
So, it's no secret that Diablo 4 has not lived up to expectations. And the more that I've thought about it, actually, I think...
Honestly, I have never heard anyone talk about this, so let's make the judgment call here. How much Diablo 4 did live up to expectations? From 0 to 100%. Man. I would say maybe 22%, maybe 23% lived up to the expectations. I mean, it was Diablo 4, and it looked like Diablo 2, which was a great bonus, but nothing really else, right?
I think it's actually worse for the real blasters, the pro players, whatever you'd like to call them, because with the current...
It's worse because the ceiling is so low. Like, whenever you complete all the content in 3 days, and you have effectively your BIS, and there's nothing unique or interesting about it,
Yep.
what are you going to do for the rest of the time? There's 5 classes, and each class has 2 or 3 builds. Compare that with PoE, where you can spend hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. In PoE, you can make a build about every gem. And even every skill gem that you make a build can be probably made in 5 different ways. You know, maybe it's physical, maybe it's critical strike, maybe it's elemental damage, maybe it's poison, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then you add in the classes. Oh, maybe I'm gonna make a nice Vortex character Oculist. Because, you know, minus resistances are... Or maybe a Trapper. Or maybe something completely different like a Pathfinder. Who knows?
Of just farming. And just, like, getting better gear. Corrupting gear. Double corrupting gear. Etc.
iteration of the game, there's really not much to do. I can blast. I mean, look how many 100s I have. I almost have 10 100s.
Jesus.
Why?
You can blast up to 100, no problem. And then what do? Nightmare Dungeon 100 is free on every single character, and Uber Lilith has been killed many times by now. And gearing up, you have like perfect gear by the time you're 75. There's just nothing to do in the game. And at least for casual players, I think going through the campaign...
You know what? I think this is an overarching bigger problem of gaming at this point. Because look at what's currently happening. Old games are making comebacks. Path of Exile is making a comeback because of Diablo. No Man's Sky is making a comeback because of Starfield. Cyberpunk 2076 is making a comeback because of Starfield. And alternatively, things like Guild Wars 2 are making a huge comeback because people are looking at the game and saying like, wow, that's actually a really good game. And you know what these games have in common, all of them? Well, those games have been out for multiple years now. Most of them, except Cyberpunk, have been out for 10 plus years at this point. Well, RuneScape 07, and RuneScape 3 even, you know? Those games have so much content at this point in them that people cannot people go into them and they are confused at what should they do, because there's just too much content, honestly. You have no idea what you're supposed to do, because the crafting is good, the exploration is good, this is good, that is good, there's 5 different endgame activities and things that you can do, and you feel lost. And new games literally cannot have enough content to rival that ever. And again, Guild Wars, when it came out, people liked it, for example, but it wasn't that special. Only now, that 5 expansions later, or however many expansions later and quality of life updates later, people are calling it a good game and they want to play it. The brutal reality is that no game... It seems like no game can be released in the modern day that has enough content for people to play and feel satisfied. That only games that have already existed for 5 plus years can only meet this criteria. Kinda crazy, huh?
And building up at least one.
And by the way, Diablo 4 also seems like it's slowly creeping in that direction. I think on Season 4 there's gonna be no more bug fixes to do in the game. The base game is gonna be fine. And then they will start adding actual real content. And after 4 years of existing, Diablo 4 could be potentially a really, really good game.
Character very slowly probably is more fun than anybody who's blasting the game.
Well, I think that's true, and I think that's designed, that's working as intended. Diablo 4 is made for casual ARPG players and for people that don't know what an ARPG is. If you've never heard of the term ARPG, Diablo 4 is the game for you.
And so, Diablo 3 Season 29 just started once again. The Diablo 3 team released a very nice season. They put in solo mode, they put in a Paragon cap, they put in a cool new permanent feature in the game. It's too bad it just didn't have those D3 devs for the whole lifespan of Diablo 3. Otherwise, the game would have had a lot more success. Woulda, shoulda.
It wouldn't have. It's a garbage game, and the entire end game of it is trash, and it's just repeating the exact same activity over and over and over.
Probably
Every boss
not
has 2
missing anything
mechanics. They're
useful
terrible.
anyway.
There's been no innovation in the game for 5 years. There's nothing interesting or dynamic about it. Diablo 3 was a horrible game in the year 2014, and it's been the same game since then. I've watched the different seasons. I played a few of them. There's nothing good about it. It's bad. And it's been bad.
Diablo 3 is not a bad game. Diablo 3 is actually a pretty decent and fun game for roughly a week, and then you get tired of it. It's not really a bad game. It's just kind of boring, and it doesn't have that spark. I think anyone can play Diablo 3 without any problems for a week, without even complaining, and then you're just like, okay, I'm fucking bored, and forget it, that it exists.
Ever since Reaper of Souls. And Diablo 3 Vanilla was also bad, but it was just bad in a different way. I don't know why anybody makes any excuses for Diablo 3 as if Diablo 3 was a good game. Diablo 3 was horrible. It was a literal trash game. Imagine fighting the same drift bosses for 10 years. What a joke.
Coulda. Always the story. Okay, so now, what am I going to do in the future?
Go to PoE like everyone else.
Reason why I'm a content creator is because I love video games.
Okay.
When
I'm a
when I was
content
a
creator
young
for
kid,
money.
when we would have like our LAN parties,
same.
have our little sleepovers, and we would be, on Friday we get off from school, we would go order a bunch of pizza, we'd go down to the gas station, get the 64-ounce big gulp of pop, and then we just...
They're doing it wrong. Because, see, what they should have done is, like, Rax is probably about the same age as me, right? And so, like, back in the day, what you needed to do is you needed to get, like, those insulated cups, and then getting refills for the insulated cups was actually cheaper than even getting an original, like, a big gulp, right? Because, like, the refill was, like, 60 cents, and then the big gulp was, like, $1. So, like, you could get a refill for something bigger, and it's also colder for longer, so it keeps the ice in there. Yeah, 7-Eleven was trying to shut me down. I was giving away all their tricks. So this is the way it used to be, right? So you would go to 7-Eleven, and then also like you got to go another level to that.
Thank God this America is almost burnt to the ground at this point, and it's on the brink of no return. This shit cannot spread to the rest of the world. 7-Eleven refills and blah blah blah. Time cannot move fast enough to destroy America, I feel like.
Is that 7-Eleven used to have a company policy that would require the employees to get rid of all of the donuts and everything at 12 o'clock and then replace them with the the new donuts, right? This is like a policy, and you threw all the
Yeah, that's a policy literally everywhere in the world. Except Africa.
old ones away. So what you had to do
Or China, or India. Anywhere with prominent street food.
is make a relationship with the employee there and then show up at about 12:15 or so and then buy a donut, and they're going to say, listen, like, ask how much are these? And it's like, they could probably tell you, like, listen, like, you can take them, like, I've got to get new ones anyway. So you're actually helping them, doing their job for them, and at the same time, you're getting free donuts. So, like, you could get basically a drink and donuts from 7-Eleven for less than $1.
Okay. Poor people shit aside. This is how you actually make changes in life, okay? If you need a committee to approve your shit, and a committee is not approving your shit, this is what you do. You check when their workday ends. And you arrive there 5 minutes before the workday ends, and then do fucking nonsense bullshit. Any committee is usually regulated by the country, which means they can literally not say no to you. So you're gonna waste their time after their workday ends. They're gonna approve whatever dumbassery that you want in an instant, because they don't want you showing up 5 minutes before they have to go home and waste an hour or two of their lives. They're gonna fucking approve a meth lab even at that rate, okay? This is what you do.
It is actually fucking insane, man. And so I used to do this all the time, like, because it was rough, man. It was really fucking rough.
Blast all night, it's noon the next day, and then everyone starts to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I was the guy that would stay up and plug 3 extra controllers in the Xbox and run around practicing 3-shotting spawns in Halo 1 while my friends slept, and I just keep playing.
There it is.
After we had already been playing for almost 24 hours.
The grind never stops.
I'm, even as an old piece of shit 37-year-old
Jesus.
man,
Wow.
that is still who I am. I'm still that same kid that just has to blast.
Yep.
Slightly
It's
sad.
just my personality.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I found very, very rewarding in the last 4.5 years is teaching people the game. I like to make guides. I like to know what I'm talking about. I like to level up 100 times to 100. That way, when I make a leveling guide for you, I can be pretty damn sure that if it isn't the best leveling guide possible, it at least is going to be really good.
See this?
No. What is this?
This is how it used to be, boys. This is how it used to be.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy, asmongold. And today I'm be showing you guys how to go from level 80 to 85 Cataclysm levels in about 20 minutes to an hour. Now,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the days. Those were the fucking days.
Wow.
I did the same goddamn thing. Yep, those were the good days.
Now they're
When I
not
was
dope.
younger, it was way more important to me to compete. I wanted to be world number one in WoW. I wanted to be
like
the
that.
best Halo 1 player
Everyone
in the
was
world
like
and
that, yeah.
all the different games. Now it's much more about the community and teaching. There's nothing to teach it.
It still saddens me how fucking godlike I was in Counter-Strike 1.6 when I was goddamn 13. Jesus Christ, was I good. And now... No, seriously. My average headshot percent with all weapons is was above 80%. Above fucking 80%. Can you imagine that? Headshots. And by the way, I'm a sniper player, okay? Yeah, baby. We're talking real shit here, okay? And now, I don't want to play shooter just understanding how absolutely nothing I am. Now a 50-year-old boomer is probably better than me. A 7-year-old kid with cerebral palsy is gonna demolish me probably in a shooter game. I can't play shooter games anymore because it's like, oh, I'm getting destroyed. I was the one who destroyed people. I was the guy that had constantly a KDA of 30-1 in the best known public servers. Bruh! And now? I'm probably gonna get farmed by anyone. The sadness. The absolute sadness.
Diablo 4. There's nothing. I'm finding that area full.
Dota 2. 6-1 Storm KDA. Above top 10% players in the whole world rank-wise. Bruh. Fucking Ricky spammer. Literally best Ricky in the world. Oh my lord. 70% Storm win ratio. 400 games. Plus. Oh my... And now I would probably calibrate, like, I don't even remember the ratios, but it would be bad.
Just completely empty currently.
That's true. I remember I felt the same way about making guides in WoW, and I started to realize that nobody actually cared about being good at the game. People just wanted to talk about the game. So I could make a guide for how to do some really difficult achievement, and nobody would even care about it.
Obviously.
But if I made a video talking about how the game used to be very good, everybody would want to watch that instead. Nobody actually cared about being good at WoW.
Yeah.
Now, Diablo 4, it's very common.
Everyone just wants their opinions to be heard and approved of. Simple.
Opinion across everybody, the lovers and the haters of the game. Diablo 4 has got a good base. It was just released too early. Too many bugs, too many imbalances, not enough things to do.
Mm-hmm.
It would have released 1 year after it released. It might have had
probably still be fucked up.
Much different narrative, but it doesn't matter.
They had a year to fix Diablo 3. Did they fix Diablo 3 in a year? No.
They made it worse. By the way, I liked the hardcore Diablo 3 when it released. I really did. It was cool.
So, I mean, like, there it is.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. It is what it is, and here's where we are. I think it's going to take them a good amount of time to fix it. They'll do nice things in Season 2.
Season 4 minimum.
They'll do nice things in Season 3. Maybe by then, when the leaderboards
Bug
are out
fixes.
with a couple new, hopefully, endgame.
Bruh, the fact that some developer can unironically call a leaderboard a major piece of content update just sickens me.
Things added. Maybe it will be better, but I'm finding it very hard to commit to building my future on this game until I've seen more. So then
Well, you shouldn't build your future on any game. I think that's always a mistake, because if you do that, eventually the game is going to fall off. Even if it's a popular game, eventually it falls off. People aren't interested as much anymore.
That's horrible advice.
And also, audiences just change over time. Like, the people that were really popular for doing Minecraft 5 years ago probably aren't as popular nowadays for doing Minecraft, because the audiences shift and people want what's new.
Yes, but you still should take advantage of something that's popular if you're interested in it, and you should milk it as long as possible. You shouldn't stick to it forever when it's falling off and you want to do other things. So yeah, that's horrible advice.
And they want to have new content, like Hearthstone, Counter-Strike. I mean, yeah, you have some games that are like kind of exceptions, but these are mainly competitive games. And I think that like 95% of people get replaced, and I'd say 99% of games like lose their relevance after like sometimes even less than a year. Like, look at all the people that are still trying to be like only WoW streamers. That's hard, man.
I
Like,
don't
you
know.
only want to stream WoW? That's bad.
I don't know. Mitch Jones gets 30K fucking viewers currently, and doing World of Warcraft. Seems pretty good, not gonna lie.
And I think that, I mean, like, our New World, yeah, imagine just, like, wanting to be a New World streamer, or wanting to be a, Fortnite-only streamer. Like, Fortnite's a really big game. You can kind of do it, and you'll be able to do it for a while, right? But at a certain point, it's over.
Competition.
And that's it. That's the problem with, like, tying yourself to one video game. Some do it because they like it. I know it might not be the winning formula, but whatever. Yeah, but we're not talking about whether you like to do it or not. We're talking about whether it's a good decision as a content creator looking from, like, quote, business perspective, right? Like, of course, you do whatever the fuck you want. You want to be a content creator for Raid Shadow Legends? You love Raid Shadow Legends? Then do it. Like, do whatever you want to do.
Good
but
game,
it's
actually.
different versus, like, is this effective? Like, you can do something that's fun and it's not super efficient. That's fine, as long as you're having fun. But that doesn't make it efficient.
Ask myself, what should I do instead, or should I hang it up? I can tell you without a doubt,
You're not going to hang
I
it
don't
up.
care about fame. In fact, I would actually prefer to not be famous than famous, not to say that I am famous. I don't care about the fame. I don't care about the money. I want to be a
He should give me all of his money in that case if he doesn't care about the money. I care about the money a lot. I want that money.
content creator because I love games. Even with, like I said, even with the kids that I was around when I was younger who loved video games, it was not the same as me. It was just not the same level. All of my friends would tell you the same. So this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to keep streaming, and I'm going to keep making content.
There it is.
Because I committed the very first day that I started streaming, March 13th, 2019, that I was going to stream every single day without missing a day for 10 straight years. So we just hit 4.5 years. Never missed a day.
Wow.
Got another 5.5 to go. I'm committed
That's impressive, man. That's really fucking impressive. Holy
He's
shit.
probably gonna die from health issues before the
to
time
that,
passes.
and we're going to keep going. It looks like the best ARPG that's going to come out soon is
Why?
Last Epoch.
Because you never stop going
It just
big
looks
dick.
incredible. Everybody loves it.
True, finally someone said it. Last Epoch is absolutely amazing. The skill trees are just so good. You know how good Last Epoch skill trees are? When I was done playing my first Necromancer, you know what was the second class I made? That's right, another Necromancer, just so I can play a different build. And then I decided to make a Sorceress, which I quit halfway through. Do you know what to do? That's right, build a third Necromancer. Bruh. Last Epoch? I think Last Epoch just needs a little bit of touch-up on its graphical side. Because it's not the game that looks the best for everyone, right? It needs a little bit of touch-up there. And slightly more of an understandable loop what's happening. Because with the time travel and everything, you're gonna be really confused on honestly what's happening. You know, and how you're supposed to traverse the map. You're gonna always be guessing, am I going in the right direction when you start playing the game. I literally could not understand. Maybe I'm missing something. Am I supposed to go there? How does this work? Blah, blah, blah. There are a couple of things that Last Epoch needs to improve upon, okay, there. But overall, Last Epoch is amazing. It is, without question, the best ARPG or whatever you're supposed to call that garbage game out there. No questions asked.
Everybody
What's
said
this?
the best ARPG that's going to come out soon is Last Epoch. It just
Oh,
looks
I've heard about this game. About every day, whenever people ask me if I'm going to play it, and they say, Baldy, why haven't you played it? What are you doing? Why are you a fake content creator? Yeah. So McConnell messaged me. McConnell told me to play this like from way, way, way back in the day. Like, he was actually the first person that was telling me about it. I can't find it.
incredible. Everybody loves it. Everybody says that it's got a great endgame, great crafting system.
The crafting system is way better than Diablo, yet easier than Path of Exile, technically. So that's kind of... it's easier than Path of Exile. That's the best way to say it. But it's better than Path of Exile in almost everything. The combat's more fun. The skills are much different. It's just a great game, honestly. The thing that's keeping it back, I think, is the graphics and unbalancedness situation of what's happening sometimes, when you're playing through it. Because, let me just explain how Last Epoch balance works. You're doing no damage, and suddenly you have a level up, and you decide, wait a minute, I'm gonna put one point into this passive, and bam, you're dealing 3 times more damage, and you're like, okay, so that's how it works, huh? That's also a problem with Last Epoch, but man, is it good. And the mapping in Last Epoch just blows fucking Path of Exile right out of the water. It's so trash compared to Last Epoch. Beautiful.
Already has a godly loot filter. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm still gonna play D4. I'm still gonna cover D4.
This is what Rax should do. If you want to be a consecrator, just farm every new game.
Yep.
Farm every new game. Any game that has like a hardcore element. Look at his face. Any game that has like a hardcore element, just farm any game.
D4. I don't need to practice D4. I'll be able to keep in touch with the game.
Well, you already did.
And if it gets great, then I can go back and main D4 again. But I think it's time for me to start warming up in Last Epoch, and I think
Yeah, how does he not come to this conclusion faster? When Path of Exile release new season, you just play that for a while. Then Diablo 4 release new season, then you play it. It's simple.
It's time for me to start warming up a bit more in Path of Exile. Again, I like to teach things. So Last Epoch will be a much bigger opportunity for me to teach you the game than PoE. There's already a million godly content creators for PoE. I don't know even if I mained PoE if I could be better than them. Not that it's a competition. I actually think that having many great
there's so many. I think he could easily find a place in the PoE community because there's so many. The game is so complex that there's room for one more of anybody.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 3 or 4 guys that just make videos of Righteous Fire. Yeah, Pox, Captain Lance.
Is better than just
the
trying
first
to
2 I think of right
monopolize it.
top
I think
of my
that's
head.
a losing mentality. It's a loser mentality. But I don't think I'd be able to gain enough knowledge quickly enough to be able to teach you PoE 1. But maybe it's going to be different if PoE 2 is dramatically different.
So
I will absolutely be paying attention to PoE 2 and Last Epoch.
PoE 2 is more Diablo 4 than Diablo 4.
I think I'm going to start playing them, and I'm going to start learning them very well. So hopefully I can teach you guys how to have fun in these games. I also love MMOs. Lost Ark is pretty solved at this point, but I do love that game, and the Jumpstart servers are out.
Lost Ark is a great game.
I would be lying to you if I was not considering just maining Lost Ark. I love the raids. I love the difficulty.
True.
The pay to win sucks, but I love that. Like
the pay to win doesn't matter. Anyone who plays Lost Ark knows the pay to win does not matter at all. Admittedly, it is kind of funny, because, bruh, you got World of Warcraft World First Racers complaining, oh, our whole guild is like 100k in debt now because we needed to buy gold and shit for supplies. Lost Ark World First. Single accounts are worth multiple millions. One character to World First and Lost Ark on average for the tryhard is going to be worth $1 million. And you're here, oh, our whole guild is 100k in debt, bruh. How about one character is worth $1 million? And by the way, again, you need none of that. The great thing about Lost Ark is, 1, you get to make fun of all the losers who think Dark Souls is a hard game franchise. Because, bruh, in Lost Ark you have bosses that have 30 different mechanics where the way you differentiate with them is literally a pixel or fucking 2 between the attacks. Versus Dark Souls, oh, this boss has 3 mechanics, it's too complicated. Losers.
MMO grindy
You
stuff.
can't buy. You can't buy. Gravity is a real bitch, man. I learned that on Valton. It's a real bitch.
Wait, do you have problems on Volta?
That's very much in my wheelhouse. So the Riot MMO could be a godly game. I'm absolutely paying attention to how that goes. That could be the main game of the future. Another thing is the Moon Beast game. If you haven't checked it out,
What is the Moon Beast
friends
game?
over at Moon Beast, the original designers of Diablo 2 came out of retirement to reinvent the ARPG genre.
Oh,
Check out the Moon Beast game. I'm watching them.
I'm gonna watch this afterwards. Remind me.
So anyway,
I want to watch
just
it.
to summarize this, not to make this a giant soliloquy or anything, I am still a gamer and a content creator. I always will be, even if one day I retire from it or whatever. I will always be this. I've always been this, even before I ever fired up the stream. I just love.
Leave it to Diablo 4 to give multiple adult men existential crises about what they're gonna do with the rest of their life. Because the game that they were excited about was such a piece of shit that they have to rethink the entire trajectory of what they're gonna plan their career on.
True.
God damn.
Video games way too much to ever step away from it. I have to blast. I will pretty much. I can't guarantee it, but I just don't think I will ever become a variety streamer. I don't like that. I don't like to play every game for 3 days and essentially suck at everything. I want to play a few games and try to be as good at them as possible.
I can really understand that. That's the way I feel a lot too. Like I like going deep into like one or a handful of games rather than just like playing one, like kind of being garbage at it. No, you're right. Like that's the way I feel too, right?
Bruh, he called you out. Literally, he might as well
Very much
said, "I
my
don't want to be like Asmongold."
Style. So I will D3. Thanks for the 1 week of fun. You did your job like always.
Actually, I should
D3
probably
is kind
do
of dead,
this.
but
Yeah.
you did a great job with what you had.
Bam.
Diablo 4, Copium. I hope that everything gets turned
They're gonna
around. I
fix
think it
everything
eventually
in
will.
season
I
2.
just
Yeah,
worry
sure.
that it's going to be too late by the time that it happens. Last Epoch, I mean, I'm looking at you. I'm kind of like a free agent here. Not that I'm valuable, not to imply that I have any value, but if anybody's looking for a blaster, if you're willing to make a godly game that's not a predatory pay-to-win game.
Ooh, wait. Oh, yo,
looking.
then never mind.
So, really looking strong at Last Epoch. I will be playing more PoE 1 to learn more about it. I've already done one season where at least I got my 4 Void Stones. I got to level like 97. So
pretty good.
That's one.
Okay.
That's one round of it. But I want to say I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for. I mean, I did not think after a few years of streaming I would have almost a quarter of a million subs on YouTube.
How many do you have?
I didn't think my Twitch would be where it's
Holy
at.
shit.
I didn't think I would be anybody, and I don't have some big ego or anything at all. I'm just the same little kid that just loves to blast games, and so far I've been able to make a career out of it, which is all anybody could ever ask for. It's
That's
because of
nice.
you guys. I never take you for granted. I still remember the first time that I had a video that had 1,000 views and how happy I was on it.
I used to screenshot any time that I would get a video that had a certain amount of views on it. Yeah, I went so hard on that. I remember I screenshotted the first time I had $1,000 in my bank account too. And then I spent all the money on a computer, to be fair.
So need to remember those moments just to keep yourself in check and keep your mind focused on what you're doing. So thanks for all the fantastic times. I will continue to cover Diablo 4, but let's see what the godly games are coming up, and I'm considering making a switch to either Last Epoch or PoE 2.
Bro, I can't just look at this. You can clearly tell that this shit is painted on, okay? You can clearly tell that this is painted on.
I just wanted to let you guys know, in case if you're only here for Diablo, I want to warn you that I may switch gears, and if that's all you were interested in, you can go ahead and we can part ways now.
Well,
but
people aren't interested in Diablo, because if they were, they would be watching it. But
People are interested in Diablo 4 videos, though. Because a lot of people want to see how it's self-imploding and destructing, and no one's covering it.
People are interested in talking about it being bad.
True.
People are interested in the meta of the game, same as like World of Warcraft retail. Like you go and you look at WoW, what's going on with WoW? Everybody's playing fucking hardcore. You've got Dorky doing his best, right? I mean, this guy's like one of the best players in the world for Mythic Plus.
No idea
One
who
person.
that is.
2 people. Wait, no, he's in... No, that's actually... I think that's hardcore. Yeah, it's hardcore WoW. That's Burning Crusade. So there's only one guy. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, everyone's playing hardcore. Except one guy.
One person playing retail WoW.
I mean,
what the fuck?
Sucks.
That's me. It is. Yeah, there he is. He's in chat. Grayson's putting in 2K. Yeah, he's putting in 2K. And you know what he's doing to 2K in? Classic. He's in fucking Classic, isn't he? That's Classic. I guarantee you that's Classic. Because I can tell what's going on. It's just that,
the icons.
again, like, retail WoW is dead. But people love talking about retail WoW being dead.
Yeah.
But they don't want to actually play it. Because it's dead.
I mean, I can't blame them. I have been talking about Starfield being a shit game for, well, pretty much since before Starfield they even launched. And I'm not even getting tired of it, honestly. It's just so great watching these absolute animals cope.
Hardcore is the 10.2 waiting room? No, it's not.
Appreciated your sub or your views or whatever. We're going to keep going. 5.5 more years of streaming every day without stopping. No breaks, no matter what. Even if I die, I have to stream.
Smart.
Let's see if we can finish it off for the final 10 years.
True.
Thank you.
That was a good video. I'm glad I watched it. As I said, bro, leave it to Diablo 4 to be such a piece of shit that it's giving fucking adult middle-aged men midlife crises on where they're gonna go with their whole life.
True.
There's the video right there. I think Rax, like, I mean...
But by the way, you gotta give it to Diablo 4. Diablo 4 came out and instantaneously gave a bunch of people a huge voice and created careers, okay? There are people who who made YouTube careers off of Diablo 4 existing, and as fast as their careers got created by Diablo 4 content, their views just dropped completely because there's no content you can make about this game. It is absolutely insane. Because keep in mind, if your career is made... I'm trying to clean the thing off a monitor, I just noticed. If your career is made in Diablo 4 by, making content for it, and it's like guides, tips, tricks, and all of that shit, you need to understand, you can't actually just instantaneously switch to yelling, "No, Diablo 4 is dead." No. Your viewers are not going to appreciate that because your viewers are dead because they want Diablo 4. So you can't even make a pivot switch. It's insane.
If you're trying to provide value and you're trying to make good guides, it doesn't really matter like what game you play. As long as the game has an audience, people are going to play it.
Yeah.
Or people are going to watch your guides. Like, this is kind of the problem, is like with Diablo 4.
I mean, you can technically make a life on everything. Like, look at Twitch thoughts. They have... Some of them have only 100 viewers, and they are making through donations more than people with 3K viewers. It's insane. But despite that, look at Lost Ark. Technically, it's very niche. It's very small. But look at Stoops. He gets like 200 subs a day, okay, on Twitch. Excluding donations, excluding YouTube revenue and all of that. You can technically make it in any game, but you need to understand that the amount of people who can make it, that's a limited slot thing, okay?
Like, you just get to a point where nobody really gives a shit about the game anymore. And that's kind of what's sad about it, is like, look at this, right? So people care about like Diablo 3 more than Diablo 4. This is the new patch. Does anybody even care
Wow.
about this? No. But if Rax makes a video about concerning
look at
news about
this.
Diablo 4, it gets 130,000 views. Because people love, resource powers need help. This only has 46,000
Yeah, this is just crowd control nerfed. Instantaneously.
views. Do you know why? Because nobody gives a fuck
Well, that's a
about
good thing,
the
though.
actual game, and all they want to do is talk about how much it sucks dick.
As me! Anyway, this was Quizzer Said, saying thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.